Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say all praises, honor and glory be to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. They'll rule well. Blessings to the hopeful elect teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. And as you can see, I got up on the screen. And I just subscribed to this page, Saturday Night Live. And as you can see on the screen, you got this geezer, actor, pretty well-known actor. Played in a couple of movies, like Get Out, Queen and Slim, I believe the name. One of the latest ones he played in was Judas and the Black Messiah. And he was also in Black Panther as well. So this geezer, he's anyway, that's his history when it comes to acting and that and whatever. And they're using this. What you got to understand is they're using this celebrity, to pretty much advertise taking, as you can see where my mouse is, taking the thing. All right, but what I noticed as it's called the Thing Game Show. And what I noticed, this guy's name's Daniel Kaluuya, by the way. And what I noticed is in the game show, they got actors to play his members of his family, and he has to ask them questions based on why they would or would not take the thing. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and play you a little bit of, and notice how they clown, you Israelites. Notice how, they pretty much, in fact, let me remember this timestamp, 318. Notice how they clown you Israelites, and they pretty much make fun of you, make mockery of you in front of the whole world. All right, and it's all done by design. And here it is. You got, Jake is at the forefront of, you taking the thing. They want you to take the thing because really they're trying to take you out. All right, and that's a fact. All right, but what I want to do is I want to focus on, a little bit of this clip, and we're gonna go into it and just really take it in and see, how the serpent works, because this is his media. You got like 11.8 million subscribers that subscribe to this show, and there's a lot of heathen in that number as well that subscribe to these shows. Sit back, kick back, and watch Jake make a fool of themselves on television. All right, so let's go ahead and play a little bit of this.
Time's up. We were looking for the answer. Yes, I will take.
And I don't even want to play. In fact, I don't even want to. Yes, I will take the thing.
You've had 2 heart attacks in the past decade.
And I survived by the grace of God.
And what will you do?
And see, Jake, you've had 2 heart attacks. He's supposed to play. And this guy is
Past decade.
this guy, he's famous for like that Keenan and Kel. When I was growing up, I used to watch that show. And it was pretty much about like a so-called black family making a fool of themselves on camera. And they're still being used for that same purpose. Okay, Jake is being used for the same purpose, but now they're being used for an even bigger agenda, and that's to push, pretty much, to make light of Jake being involved in taking the thing. All right, because Esau has an agenda. He's still out for our people. Remember, he has a perpetual hatred for our people. He's pursuing us with the sword. Right now, he's pursuing us with the baby sword. All right, in fact, let me get a quick scripture. Amos 1 and 11. We know what Esau's blessing is. Esau's blessing is a sword. Esau being a predominantly the so-called white race. It says, it's Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Okay, so what you gotta understand is Esau is keeping his wrath forever, man. All right, and that hatred goes way back, even to the beginning, all the way back to Jacob, Esau that were fighting in the womb. Even before that, you had Cain and Abel. You had Cain that slew his brother Abel, and then when he was pulled up on it by the Most High Yahweh and asked, "Where is thy brother Abel?" he lied to the Most High. So he murdered and he lied. He was the first murderer. Alright, and that same spirit lives on through the so-called white race today, which are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Okay? Because back there you had the sons of the wicked, the sons of God, and the sons of men. Alright, and Esau, he comes from the sons of the wicked, man. And the wicked, the scripture says, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. And that's why you're seeing all these protests play out right now. Because guess what? Esau is forcing these unrighteous decrees upon people, and the people are not having it. Alright, so ultimately this is the Most High's movie. Yes, we understand that the deceived and the deceiver are his, but Esau, nevertheless, he's still created to be the wicked, and his blessing is to take peace from the earth through the sword. And that's why he's pushing that baby sword out, and he wants our people to take the thing. Alright, check this out.
And I survived by the grace of God.
And what will you do? What will you do if you win some money here?
Man, I might like me a little reefer. Yeah.
Might like me a little reefer, you know. I might smoke some weed. This is how Jake get looked at. Smoking weed, lighting reefers, chilling back, eating, pork, shrimp, looking like a damn fool, committing adultery, strung out on drugs. This is why the people look down on our people, man. This is why the heathens look down on our people. And this is why Esau gives them such a platform to make a fool of themselves, man. These guys have received their consolation. These actors, singers, boxers, all these guys in the entertainment industry, that sing and dance for their master, they're into trimming their ways to seek love from their slave master, man. They've received their consolation prize. Okay, they're having their cake and eating it on this side. Alright, and that's why they're going to be ashamed in the kingdom. Alright, but what I wanted to do, let me go straight to the point and focus on, let me go to 3 and 18.
And go.
Right, so this is a game show. I didn't explain this, but this is a game show where pretty much this guy, Daniel Kaluuya, he's asking, and these guys on the panel, they're playing his family members. Alright, and he's asking them to pretty much take the thing for prize money. Alright, and the prize money, I believe it was like $5,000. Alright, now, pretty much, they get a chance to now ask him questions, and he's giving them all day, 24 hours, and the whole audience started laughing. Because it don't take 24 hours to ask, someone a bunch of questions just about the thing. Alright? And that shows, and they're trying to make it out as Jake is so stupid that they need 24 hours. So, this is what they're doing, man. They're clowning our people on live television, man. Alright? But check this out.
Touch it.
Do it got syphilis in it?
Wow. So the first thing she said, right, because he said to them, look, you can ask me any question about the thing. Alright? This thing right here, where my mouse cursor is hovering over. Right? And the first thing she says is, do it got syphilis in it?
What? Of course not. Why would it have syphilis in it? Touch it.
Tuskegee.
And she said Tuskegee. Alright, so I said, I didn't even really pretty much know about Tuskegee, but then I looked up Tuskegee. And now I found this website, okay, and this is from the cdc.gov/Tuskegee timeline. Alright, now check this out. It says the study begins. And as you can see, you got, Jake, they're pretty much being experimented on in this picture. And it's going to go on to describe what's going on in these pictures. It says the study begins in 1932. The Public Health Service, working with the Tuskegee Institute, began a study to record the natural history of syphilis in hopes of justifying treatment programs for blacks. Alright, so I looked up syphilis. Alright, and syphilis, this is what it says. Syphilis is a sexually transmitted infection caused by the bacterium Treponema pallidum, subspecies pallidum. The signs and symptoms of syphilis vary depending on which of the 4 stages it presents: primary, secondary, latent, and tertiary or tertiary. Salakia. Alright? Then I went down here and I said, what does syphilis look like on a woman? It says a blotchy red rash that can appear anywhere on the body, but often develops on the palms of the hands or soles of the feet. Small skin growths similar to genital warts. On women, these often appear in the vulva And for both men and women, they appear around the anus, white patches in the mouth. That is absolutely hideous. That's disgusting. So on top of the fact that we've actually got poor diets, poor conditions to live in, we all up in the ghettos, hardly anything to live off. All right, Jake's spending every dollar that they make on drugs up in the hood, up in the ghetto. Like the first thing that these geezers said, Kel, said the guy that played Kel, the guy with it, that had the grey wig on. He says, I might smoke me a little reefer. All right, but guess what? This syphilis thing right here, this is disgusting, man. All right, so they're letting you look pretty much. We need to get the fuck up out of this place. That's the point. We need to get up out of this place because I'm gonna go in and read to you about the particular study that was done in Tuskegee. All right, it says began a study to record the natural history of syphilis in the hopes of justifying treatment programs for blacks. It was called the Tuskegee Study of Untreated Syphilis in the Negro Male. Now, if you know anything about the scriptures, you know that Esau has got nothing to do with calling himself any type of physician. All right, because the scripture speaks about Job chapter 13 verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. First of all, Esau is a physician of no value. Okay, and you got the CDD, stands for Center for Disease Control, right? When you get sick, you go to the doctor. The word doctor means to falsify. Okay, now over here you got these chemists, pharmaceutical companies. The word pharmacy, in fact, let's look it up. Okay, pharmacy. In fact, let's go to the etymology. Etymology of the word pharmacy. Because people, like you ask the average person or the average Jake, what does the word pharmacy mean? Even though they go there, they get a little pain, a little ache, they get a little rash somewhere. The first thing they go is to the doctor, then the doctor sends them to where with a prescription. They send them to the pharmacy. At least that's how it works over there in the UK. All right, and it says pharmacy, a medicine that rids the body of excess humors, except blood. Also treatment with medicine, theory of treatment with medicine. Okay, let's keep on reading. Right? Down here it says what? It says a purgative. It says directly from the medieval Latin pharmacia, from the Greek pharmakeia. It says a healing or harmful medicine. Harmful medicine. A healing or poisonous herb. A drug. Poisonous potion. Magic potion, dye, raw material for physical or chemical poisoning. All right, over here in the UK, they're called chemists. All right, which goes back to the word chemicals. All right, or chemical processing. Okay, so what you got to understand is there are poisonous potions being made and being given to our people, right, on a daily basis in this kingdom, headed by the so-called white man. All right, it says this is from Pharmakeus, from Pharmakeus, a preparer of drugs, a poisoner, a sorcerer. All right, it says from pharmacon, a drug, a poison, filter, charm, spell, enchantment. So when you go to this physician of no value, this man that's known as the forger of lies, what you gotta realize is you're being poisoned. Esau's working his witchcraft on you. Okay, and that's why the scripture says in Sirach, the 10th chapter, was it 12 and 10? I believe is it 12 and 10? Yep. It says, never trust thine enemy. Right? And we're going to find out why we don't trust our enemy. Because let's go back to this study. Right? It says the study, this is back in this Tuskegee. So she said Tuskegee, right?
Of course not. What? Tasha.
Do it got syphilis in it?
What? Of course not. Why would it have syphilis in it? Tasha.
Tuskegee.
Right. Tuskegee. Let's look up this Tuskegee study. It says this study initially involved 600 black men, 399 with syphilis, 201 who did not have the disease. The study was conducted without the benefit of patients' informed consent. Let me read that again, okay? And this is on the CDC's website. So it's actually out there for you to read. That Esau's got things that he's pushing upon you without your informed consent, and he's done it before. So this is his track record. This is his history. This is what Esau's about. It says the study was conducted without the benefit of patients' informed consent. Okay, let's look at that word consent. Okay, the word consent. It says permission of something for something to happen, an agreement to do something. It says to give permission for something to happen. So this study was done without the benefits of their informed consent, their permission for this to go ahead. Okay, are you understanding? Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is what was going on. Okay, this is in 1932, where you had 600 Israelites, and this is just a number that they're giving us. We don't know how many Israelites there were that was involved in this. And they said 399 of them had syphilis and 201 of them didn't have the disease. That's what they say. But nevertheless, this study was performed without their consent. All right, which when we fast forward to 2021, guess what? You've got things being shoved inside of you. When you take that thing, that's being shoved inside of you without your consent. They usually say in order to make a potion such as this, it usually takes a matter of years. They concocted this thing in a matter of months. And now there's all sorts of things, backlashes happening, talking about blood clots, this and that. All kinds of things, man. It says researchers told the men they were being treated for bad blood. Right? So the researchers told them false information. Oh, you're just being treated for bad blood. And that's how Esau works, because he's a serpent. Okay? He says one thing, but he means another. You know what that reminds me of? That scripture in Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Esau's blessing is the sword, and he's using a baby sword right now through means of a needle in order to poke it a hole in your flesh and put a poison inside of your body. And you wonder why people are having symptoms from what's being pushed inside of them. Blood clots and so on and so forth. Why? Because what? They are physicians of no value. They are forgers of lies. Never trust thine enemy. It says, researchers told the men they were being treated for bad blood, a local term used to describe the several ailments, including syphilis, anemia, and fatigue. In truth, they did not receive the proper treatment they needed to cure their illness in exchange for taking a part in the study. The men received free medical exams, free meals, and burial insurance. Although, that's all right. I guess that's all right. I guess that makes it okay. They got burial insurance. Okay. It says, although, see, Esau's not going to be happy until you're face down in the dirt, buried 6 feet deep. I'm talking about you Israelites, man. So for all of you Jakes, ain't nothing new. All you Jakes that trust in this man, holding out your arms, rolling up your shirt, and you're getting this thing stuck inside of you, man. You deserve what you get because you trusted in your enemy. Look at his track record. Cargo slave ships, yokes of iron being placed around your neck, separating families, rape, robbery, murder. All of these things this man has done to your people, and then you're going to roll up your sleeve and allow him to have access to your veins. It says, although originally projected to last 6 months, the study actually went on for 40 years. Okay? What went wrong? In July 1972, an Associated Press story about the Tuskegee study caused a public outcry that led to the Assistant Secretary of Health and Scientific Affairs to appoint an ad hoc advisory panel to review the study. The panel had 9 members from the fields of medicine, law, religion, labor, and education, health administration, and public affairs. It says the panel had found that the men had agreed freely to be examined and treated. And why were they? Why did they agree? Because they were being misinformed. They were heavily misinformed. Okay, they were. These studies were conducted without their informed consent. That's what the scripture said. I mean, that's what the article said. Okay, but they said that they were. They said this study is saying that they what? They had agreed freely to be examined and treated. However, there was no evidence that researchers had informed them of the study or its real purpose. In fact, the men had been misled and had not been given all the facts required to provide informed consent. So they was withheld. Information was withheld from them. Very important information. Life and death type information. Okay, and we read about what syphilis is. Okay, it's a sexually transmitted disease, and it can vary depending on the 4 stages that it's presented in, whether it's primary, secondary, latent, or tertiary. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Okay, so let's go to that scripture back in Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Right? So though he looks like he's humble, though he might, because the scripture says, when a rich man speaketh, every man look to see what he saith, and they extol it to the clouds. But when a poor man speak, they will help to overthrow him. Okay? It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, because when you get rust on iron, all right, once you got rust on that iron, that ain't going away. That rust is there. That rust is there to stay. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at thy last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or such as come nigh wild beasts? So you ain't gonna pity. Let's say a guy that goes into a lion's den, just willingly walks in there. Why are you gonna pity that guy? Why did he go into that? And that's why, we ain't pitying the guys that are going and lining up, sticking their, rolling up their sleeves and sticking out their veins. All right, sticking out their arms to receive them shots. All right, that's why we don't pity our people, because guess what? They're trusting in the enemy, man. All right, so they get what they deserve. All right, so anyways, with that, man, I pray this was edifying, because I'd never heard about the Tuskegee. Hey, but you learn something new every day. All right, and there's so much more things that we need to know, that there is out there, information to know about the wickedness and the perpetual hatred, like we just read in Amos 1:11, that Esau has for our people. Remember, the twins, Jacob and Esau, were fighting in Rebekah's womb. Right? They were fighting in the womb. That shows you the hatred and the enmity between Jacob and Esau, man. All right, and that's still around today. But guess what? You got coons that want to trust in their oppressors. All right, all because they want to trim their ways to seek love. All because they want to fit into society. All because they want to be looked at in a certain way by other demons in this world. They want this kingdom to keep on going. Well, guess what, man? You go ahead. All right, you be spoiled. The scripture says, is Israel a servant? Let's get that scripture. Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Why are you spoiled, Jake? All right, you don't even know who you are as a people, man. Okay, here it is. You're supposed to be carrying yourself different, separate from the heathen. And here it is, you're trying to fit into the ways of the heathen. You're trying to dance to the devil's tune. Well, guess what? You go ahead, man. All right, because we're only teaching this for the elect. And that's why we say shalom to the elect. And the elect, it's not possible for the elect to be deceived. If it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. Because ultimately, this is going to lead. It's not going to stop here. This is going to lead to the RFID chip being made mandatory and implemented. And our people, if they're taking these shots, you best believe they're gonna take the RFID chip. All right. So anyway, with that, I pray you were edified. To the next time, I say shalom.